and welcome to New Spring's remote Harvest Assembly. Some of you will already know me from the assemblies I've done in your schools, but for those of you who don't know who I am, my name's Miranda and I work here at New Spring City Church in Sunderland. I love Jesus and my favourite book is the Bible. The Bible tells me everything I need to know about Jesus and the life that God has planned for me. Another thing I really love is autumn. It's a fantastic season, squidged right in the middle of a lovely hot summer and the exciting winter. It's full of lovely colours and wonderful exciting things to be thankful for, and it's a great time to gather in a harvest. One of the things it tells me in the Bible about harvest and Thanksgiving is in a book called Psalms, and this is Psalms 107. It says, "So thank God for his marvellous love, his miracle mercy to the children he loves. Offer thanksgiving gifts and tell the world of all he has done. Sing it out." And that is exactly what we're about to do. So I hope you all join in, jump up and join in with the actions whilst we sing My Lighthouse.
In my wrestling, in my doubts, in my failures, you won't walk out. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. In the silence, you won't let go. In the questions, your truth will hold. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore. Safe to shore. Safe to shore. Safe to shore. I won't fear what tomorrow brings. With each morning I'll rise and sing. My God's love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Oh, you are the peace in my troubled sea. Oh, you are my light, my lighthouse, shining in the darkness. I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore. Safe to shore. Safe to shore. Safe to shore. Fire before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. Fire before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. Fire before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. Fire before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness. I will follow you. My lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore. Safe to shore. Safe to shore. Safe to shore.
It's been a funny start to this year, hasn't it? Do you remember back in the spring, we were all told to stay home and stay safe? We weren't even allowed to go to school. During the summer holidays, lots of things we normally enjoy were closed. People were queuing outside of shops just to get bread and milk, and everything seemed a little bit odd, didn't it? Even now, things are still a little bit different. But there's so much to be grateful for. You could, of course, be grumpy about your situation, but I prefer to try and look around and see what things I can be thankful for. I bet if you have a look around right now, you can find something that you're really grateful for. Go on, have a go. Look around the room you're in. Perhaps you're in a classroom, or you might be in the assembly hall. Can you see anything that you could be grateful for? I've been looking around, and here are some of the things that make me feel really thankful about the autumn. Here's my top 5 things that I'm really grateful for this autumn. Let's go. Coming in at number 5, it's getting colder out there and it's time to wear those woolly hats. I love wrapping up in a scarf and a hat, especially hats with pom-poms on. Coming in at number 4, it's these bad boys. Conkers are available free of charge all over the floor in your local park. Collect them, swap them, hang them on a piece of string. They're versatile and they're brilliant. I love them. And number 3, the thing that I'm really grateful for this autumn is carving silly faces in a pumpkin. Now this would have come a lot higher, but I don't like the yucky stuff on the inside of a pumpkin. Gross. At number 2, it's hot chocolate. Hot chocolate's brilliant any time of the year, but on those crisp autumn evenings it's just right. And number 1, my favourite thing to be grateful for this autumn is the leaves. I love watching the leaves change colour, and they make a fantastic crunching sound under your feet when you walk through them in the park. I especially like seeing a big pile of leaves that I can kick through. Word to the wise though, if you are going to kick through a big pile of leaves, make sure first that there's no dog poo in there. You have been warned. I've come for a walk in my local park, and I think this is a lovely place to stop and have a story. Once, not very long ago, and in a village not very far from where you live, there was a farmer and his wife. Now it was the farmer's job to grow all the wheat for the village so that everyone had enough bread to eat. This one particular spring, much like all the other springs, the farmer sowed his seed, but the ground this year was a little hard and unforgiving, and there was very little rainfall, and so the seeds struggled to grow. Well, this made the farmer rather cross. "These seeds are useless," said the farmer. "There's hardly any rain, and the ground is so hard, nothing's going to happen, and we shall all surely starve." Well, the seeds heard the farmer, and they felt very sad. "Oh, do be grateful for us," they said. "Please be thankful, for we are trying our very best to grow. The ground really is quite hard, and there really isn't very much rain, but we will do our best. Oh, please be thankful." But the farmer didn't hear them. He went home to his wife and he grumbled and grumbled about the terrible situation he'd found himself in. His wife smiled. She got out her Bible and her notebook and she began to write. "All eyes are on you, waiting for you. You give everyone their food and water, exactly when they need it. You are so generous, God. You lavish favour on all your creations. God does everything right, and the trademark of his work is love." And she put away her book and she smiled at the farmer. Well, by and by, the shoots did eventually come, and the farmer went out and had a look at his field, and he saw the little shoots. But he still wasn't terribly happy. "Well, these shoots are very few, and they look very weak, and there still is no rain. And so I don't think there's ever going to be a harvest this year. There'll be no crops and we shall all surely starve." And the farmer was extremely grumpy and ungrateful. But the little shoots heard the farmer and they said, "Oh, do be thankful and grateful for us. You asked us to shoot and we did. We did our very best with what we had. Oh, please be thankful. We're trying so hard." But the farmer didn't hear them. He went home to his wife and he grumbled and grumbled about the terrible situation he'd found himself in. And his wife smiled. She got out her Bible and she got out her notebook, and this is what she wrote. "Have you ever travelled to where the snow is made? Is there a big storeroom somewhere full of hail? Could you find the place where lightning is launched? Or the place that the wind comes from? Who do you think carves the canyons for the downpour of rain? Who decides where thunder should go? Who brings water to the unvisited fields, deserts that no one ever sees? Drenching wastelands in wild flowers and grass. Who do you think is the father of rain and dew, and the mother of ice and frost? You didn't think all these amazing marvels of weather happened just by themselves, did you? And then she put down her notebook and she smiled at the farmer. Well, by and by, the farmer went out into his field and he saw that the little shoots had indeed started to turn into wheat, but he knew that without rain he would never have a very good crop. And just as he was about to wish that it would rain, suddenly the skies opened and rain poured down on this field of wheat, and much of the wheat stood as strongly as it could, but some of the wheat was a little too frail and a little too fragile, and unfortunately it bent and bent and bent until it was squashed flat by the heavy rains. When the rain stopped, the farmer looked around and he didn't notice the lovely, tall, proud wheat standing strong against the weather. All he saw was the wheat that was squashed. "This is dreadful," said the farmer. "I asked for rain and I got so much rain that now some of my wheat is squashed, and I surely will not have a harvest this year, and we shall all surely starve." And the farmer went home to his wife, and he grumbled and he grumbled. And the wife got out her Bible and her notebook, and she began to write. "You water the mountains from your heavenly cistern. Earth is supplied with plenty of water. You make grass grow for the livestock, and hay for the animals that plough, and grain for all the people to enjoy." And she put down her notebook and she smiled at the farmer. Well, spring turned into summer, summer turned into autumn, and now was the time of the harvest. It was time for the farmer to go out and gather up all the wheat that had grown to turn into bread to feed the village. "I'm not expecting to see very much," said the ungrateful farmer. But when he got outside, what do you think he saw? A field full of the most beautiful golden wheat, ready to be harvested and turned into flour to make bread for the whole village to eat. "My goodness," said the farmer, "I've been so cross and grumpy, and the wheat has grown all along. How could I be so fortunate?" And his wife came out and stood beside him, and she brought a book. And she said, "Husband, all the time that you've been cross and grumpy, I have been giving thanks for everything that we have." And he read the book, and he read all the wonderful things that she had written, and the farmer began to cry, but they were happy tears. And the farmer said, "Oh, let me sing to God all my life long, sing hymns to my God as long as I live. Oh, let my song please him. I am so happy to be singing to God." Finally, the farmer realized that he had a lot to be thankful for. There's so much that we can be thankful for. Even when times seem difficult, there's always something that you can look at and see joy and be thankful. I hope that today you can find some things to be thankful for, and I'd love to hear from you if you do. But until next time, take care. Bye-bye.